Sabah everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the brand new OnePlus 10T 5G. This was just announced. I'm at the event actually in New York, and this is going to make this video a little bit of a mixed bag because what you're going to see is the introduction and the beginning of this video starting here in the studio, but we're going to finish it off in New York. So stay with me. This is the brand new OnePlus 10T. I am super excited to share with you guys the things that I liked and the things that I did not like after having it for a week. This is TK. Let's check out the brand new OnePlus 10T 5G. Like and subscribe to make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel, and make sure you check out that join button right under the video. So here is the content of the box that we got. If you'd like to watch the unboxing, I'll give you guys a link to the Instagram reel that I created for this, but the overall package is absolutely very nice. We have two cases that are included for us, and I'm going to talk to you guys about this one because this is, oh my god, one of the best collaboration between Oppo and OnePlus is the fact that we have this case. And if you don't know what this case is, stay with me, tune in, because you're definitely going to know, and you're going to love, and you're going to make sure to order this case when you're getting your 10T. This is obviously the sandstone case, typical what we've seen. This is a bumper case, covers the device all around. This one actually has a very unique characteristic. If you notice it, actually it's open on the sides, open on the back. We have that nice little red coloring that comes through, typical to what we saw originally with OnePlus, but this is actually a case that enables us to help with the cooling on our device when we're playing games for an extended amount of time. But this is the OnePlus 10T 5G. This is the unlocked model, of course. This is going to be running on T-Mobile for me here in the US. And I'm actually going to share with you guys some speeds on this because this is seriously blowing my mind when it comes to connectivity. Some of the biggest improvements that they've done here is making sure that we have a much better antenna array for Wi-Fi, for LTE, for 5G on the 10T from OnePlus. So here we have it. This is the OnePlus 10T 5G. You'll notice that the material on the back is not the exact same that what we saw with the OnePlus 10 Pro. This is to make them obviously a little bit more unique. Also, the dimensions, although they look very similar, they're not exactly the same. So I've tried putting this in a case from the OnePlus 10 Pro. They're slightly offset. So one thing to keep in mind, the array on the back is different. We have a different camera stack, a 50 megapixel primary sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. And this is obviously very different than the 10 Pro. In my opinion, when we look at the OnePlus 10T, we need to keep in mind that this is not intended to be a successor to the 10 Pro. This is the other device that OnePlus is releasing in 2022. And the biggest difference here is that you're getting a very fast device. There's a very big focus on speed. From the 1080p display that runs at 120 frames per second, to the cameras that we have on the back, also to the fact that we can now charge our devices, OnePlus devices in the US, up to 125 watts. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this charger, the charger itself is rated to be 160, and that the reason behind that is that OnePlus wanted to make sure that we have a charger that runs and was able to provide us a consistent 125 watts. So in the US, this charger will charge our device at 125 watts. If we travel to outside of the US, you use, let's say, the same charger and the phone, it will charge at 150 watts. There's that limitation there, but the same technology as far as the dual cell here, the two 24 milliampere cells that we have in here will charge with the dual pump system, again, from 0 to 100% in less than 20 minutes. And that was crazy fast. Now, I didn't have my phone at 0%, but it was at, well, I think 1 or 2%, and I was able to get about 43% in 5 minutes and 100% in about, say, almost 18 minutes. So that is crazy fast for a OnePlus. And the other thing also, if you are in the US, let's say you have a OnePlus 10 Pro, and you know that in the US we only got 65 watts, and that was because of the technology that we had with the previous generation of SuperVOOC. This charger will charge our OnePlus 10 Pro at 80 watts. And not only that, OnePlus also released a brand new SuperVOOC charger for the car at 80 watts that features a USB-A and USB-C connection. And this is pretty much the Oppo charger, and this is not the one that OnePlus released. I've had this from Oppo for some time. It runs the exact same thing. Enables us to have full 80 watts on the 10 Pro. So great accessories, not only for your 10T, but also for your 10 Pro, and it will get you running on any situation. One of the biggest things that I loved about this, of course, is for gaming overall, it has a flat display. There is no curvature on the front. There is a little bit of a curvature obviously on the back to make it a little bit easier to hold. It is a 6.7-inch 1080p display, HDR10 support, 120 frames per second refresh rate. It's a 20.1 by 9 aspect ratio, and it is a fluid AMOLED display. The processor that we have in here is one of the biggest changes that we see here over the 10 Pro. This is running the latest processor from Qualcomm, and this is the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, and this is the TSMC edition, which means there's a few things that are benefiting us here. On top of the fact that it's more powerful than what we saw with the 8 Gen 1, it actually also runs less well, it draws less power when running. So more powerful, less power draw provides us an experience where we don't have a lot of overheating or concerns. Although, keep in mind that the configuration I'm looking at here is one of two. This one has 16 gigs of storage with 256 gigs of internal storage, and there's an 8 configuration that also comes with 128. Starting price point is going to be about $649, and of course going to $749 depending on the configuration that you're going to go with. For the most part, the color, the system UI, everything like that is pretty much the same. And of course the 8 Gen 1, well, the 8 Plus Gen 1 is going to be powering both of those devices. Now, currently they're running on Android 12, so this is something to keep in mind. Hopefully we'll be able to get Android 13 when Oxygen OS 13 comes out, and that should be coming up later on as soon as it becomes available for Pixels and other devices on the market like that. So we're talking about the things that I liked about this device. So the flat display is one of my biggest things that I love about it, especially for gaming phones. The stereo speakers, of course. The fact that it runs on a TSMC edition, which makes it a little bit more functional for me. So here, we're going to compare it straight to the 10 Pro because I want to make sure that you guys understand there is actually a generational improvement here from what we saw in the previous generation of OnePlus devices. So on the right, I have the OnePlus 10 Pro running the latest edition software installed directly from OnePlus. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's June security patch update. So as you can see, the 8 Plus Gen 1 or the 8 Gen 1 runs at 1255 with 3363. And here we have at 1321 by obviously 3876. It's a substantial improvement over the first generation. This is same year, essentially an overclock, but also made by a different company. We went from Samsung to TSMC, and we're seeing the improvement, and this is definitely a big factor here. So what you're looking here essentially is, technically, the OnePlus 10 Pro is still the best version that OnePlus released in 2022. What we see here is a successor and also some hints as to what the OnePlus 11 Pro or 11 series are going to be showing us next year. So the faster charging, the ability of basically getting a faster SoC, improvements over the basically the binning of the SoC and the manufacturing of it that provides us better performance with less power draw as opposed to what we've seen before with the 8 Gen 1, which essentially is an improvement on performance but also an increased performance power draw when we play in games and using system intensive applications. Now, one thing I will say, the system still technically runs the performance mode configuration. So you'll notice right there, high performance mode is turned on. This is something that OnePlus and Oppo devices have, and that gives you the ability of basically running the device at full potential. So out of the box, the phone runs with high performance mode off, and this is the same situation that we have here. So one thing to say, both are running very powerful processors, but this is one of the things I really liked about it, is the fact that it runs a more powerful processor with less power draw than the 8 Gen 1. Now, let's jump into speed because this is something that's going to drive me crazy. So I want to show you guys this thing. I was running some speed tests on this, and typically this is what I normally get around my house. 525 down with 87.1 up. That's literally one of the fastest. Even my S22 Ultra, that's roughly what it gets. I haven't been able to cross, and this is due to the mid-bands of T-Mobile in my area. Not with this guy. This guy decided to take it to a whole new level, almost doubling the download speed, over 1,000, and we're talking about 5G in my area. This is crazy good. And of course, what you can see here, 145 up, 1,047 down. So when OnePlus told us that they're building better arrays, better antennas, better performance for gaming, for overall everything in there, they weren't joking. This device is screaming speed. We have 16 gigs of RAM, we have a 125 watt charging, we also have much faster Wi-Fi connectivity. And again, this is for me, T-Mobile here in the US. I live in the T-Mobile market, so I'll give you a second look at it right there. So you'll see it right there. It says T-Mobile connectivity. I'll let it go. We have voice over Wi-Fi, of course, that voice over LTE here, and of course voice over Wi-Fi when I'm connected. And I have basically just some of the best connections that we can get on a device in 2022 from OnePlus. Now, when it comes down to the cameras, we do definitely go somewhat of a step back in the experience. We don't have the 32 megapixel camera on the front, and we also don't have the same camera stack on the back. Although I will say this, the IMX760, the main sensor that we have in here is literally one of the best options that we've seen on the market, and it's a very well proven basically camera system. So this is the IMX766 from Sony, and it's a 50 megapixel sensor that gives us the ability of getting some of the best shots. I will say they don't have 8K recording right now. We'll talk about that in the concern section, but overall, a 50 megapixel with an 8 and an ultra wide, as well as a 2 macro and a 16 megapixel camera on the front. 4K 60 frames per second is going to be the best resolution that we're able to get on this. And of course, I'm going to share with you guys some pictures, some of the experiences I did. And one of the things I love about this is that we're starting this video here in Los Angeles in my studio, and we're going to end this in New York at the launch event. So I'm going to share with you guys some things in here. You're definitely going to be enjoying a lot of content, but let me give you guys real quick a front-facing camera and back-facing camera experience from the OnePlus 10T 5G. Now, switching over to what some of the software things that I definitely appreciate that we have here. Obviously, we have Oxygen OS 12, Android 12 running in here. We'll be able to get the updates there. We have ability of customizing basically the quick settings, the colors, all of the different things under personalization, sound, vibration, notification, password, privacy, all of the different things. Battery is where that setting I told you about, to be able to turn on high performance mode if you want to be able to turn it on. Although that will turn on when you're playing certain games in the game mode. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Under special features, we have a few little things. One of the new gestures that I really like about this is the ability of basically doing 3-finger up to be able to do the split screen functionality that we have in here. We also have a very nice and very fast fingerprint sensor in here. It is an optical fingerprint sensor, so you can definitely appreciate that. But if you want to be able to customize it to run additional shortcuts, you now have the ability of running them and adding them in here. So it really runs very nicely. The OnePlus shelf is built in to be swiped down from the top. I typically disable it, but if you want to, you can turn that on. Work-life balance, Scout for better search functionality directly within your system, and of course customizations galore, because that's literally what we have here. Press and hold here gives you access to jumping in, changing the wallpaper, customizing everything. We also have access to, let's go ahead and bring back to the feed. This is the Google feed that's present here on the left. No stuttering, no issues with this device overall. And literally one of my favorite parts about this is the fact I could charge it in less time, that I can figure out what to do to start a new project on. So literally topping it off will not be an issue. So big thanks there to OnePlus for everything that we have in there. Gaming capability is pretty straightforward. We have the new game system that we have in here. It gives us the ability of basically seeing the frame rate, the experience, and everything. I'm going to show you guys a quick sample of gaming on the brand new OnePlus 10T. I played Undead Horde, Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, as you can imagine. This is not going to have any issues. The processor is top-notch. The RAM is top-notch. And one thing to mention on the RAM is that if you decide to go with the 8 configuration, just keep in mind that there's two things. The ability of storing storing applications in RAM, meaning consistent or non-closed apps in the background, is what the big difference is going to be between the 8 and the 16 gigabytes of RAM. So if you're thinking about needing more apps to run in the background to be able to lock them in memory, more RAM will help you, and this is where the 16 gigs become more functional. And so before we get into the things that obviously are my concerns in here, we're going to talk about this case. Now, I've seen this case before again, and what the main benefit here is that this becomes kind of like a massive heatsink. So any kind of heat that dissipates from the system on the back of the case here, on the back of the phone, will dissipate and will go in there. And I've been really surprised, like from an extended 30 to 45 minute gaming session, the device, although did run a little bit warmer on the front, because there still is some dissipation a little bit on the front, on the back it was cool to the touch because we have a nice little raised configuration. So even though our hands are on there, it's not touching that membrane. So it allows it to dissipate, cool the phone on the back, but also raises our hands away from it, giving us that ability of holding the phone for an extended amount of time without having any heating issues. So this is one of the biggest things that you've seen in that picture there. The temperatures definitely do go up when you're playing, but it doesn't get to the point where it basically becomes uncomfortable. So it's very enjoyable. And it also does get a little bit warm when you're charging it. When we're talking about 125 watts of charging speed, there's going to be some heat generated. So the phone definitely gets a little bit over 100 degrees. The charging brick definitely gets close to 120, but one thing to keep in mind is you're not touching the charging brick, and it's not going to be charging at that level all the time. Okay, switching it over to the things that I didn't like, or maybe let's just say concerns, because it's really going to end up being a personal choice. OnePlus announced that before the launch event that the OnePlus 10T will not have a slider. And what I'm talking about is this is the iconic little slider that we have on OnePlus devices, not the Nord, but the OnePlus devices. And this is something that enables us to put the phone into vibration mode or even into silent mode without ever having to turn on the phone. This is something that's been on the OnePlus devices since the beginning. OnePlus's response to this was pretty much basically focusing on what they brought in and what they needed the space for to be able to provide us the experiences that we get here. I'll say this, yes, am I sad that it's not in there? Absolutely. This is something that I expected every OnePlus device to have. It's literally like their calling card. Now, OnePlus did come back and say that this is not an indication that they're not going to bring this or the slider back into other devices. It's just that this version right now doesn't have it. So we'll learn a little bit more as time goes on. But my hope is that essentially it does come back obviously in the 11 series, and we'll see more or better technology that enables us to have the faster charging, that enables us to have the better radio signals and so on, and everything done internally to the device to provide us that better cooling, the better gaming systems, without necessarily sacrificing or losing a piece of hardware. So the one thing they also said is that although we always look at this as basically a small piece of hardware on the side, there's a lot more components inside to make the slider happen. And as you can imagine, they needed that to improve the size of the motherboard on the device. So there's a lot of things going on, but this is definitely one of my first things. You'll notice it right out of the box. It's missing something, like it's missing that OnePlus moniker, but it doesn't actually take away from the experience. In my opinion, also, for anybody new to the ecosystem, they probably wouldn't know the difference. But if you're coming in and of course you're an enthusiast of OnePlus devices, this is going to be something that we need to get used to. And hopefully, again, the next generation of devices will bring that back. The last two things are a little bit more of a customization and something that basically OnePlus did to tailor the price of this device. Again, it's about $649 starting price. So first and foremost, it runs on a USB 2.0 port. I was expecting maybe something to go to match the speed, maybe a USB 3.0, and that's hopefully something that maybe we'll see improved in next generation. But again, the 8T is not intended to be a better phone than the 8 Pro. It's more showcasing some of the new tech. And the last thing, we don't have 4K 120 and we also don't have 8K recording on this. This is something that I was hoping to see from OnePlus, being that we have the IMX 766. Now, I do understand obviously that, you know, there are other capabilities that we have for the Pro, and that could be maybe the delineation that they're giving us there. We don't have a Hasselblad moniker here. This is not going to be there. We also don't have an LTPO display. We obviously have a fluid AMOLED display. So there are things that are changing, but you're getting a better deal with this starting at $649 with the 8 Plus Gen 1. From speed and performance wise, honestly, it's faster than the 8 Pro. So if you're looking for gaming, if you're looking for a speed performer in for 2022 from OnePlus, I would definitely put you in the direction of the 10T. If you're looking for the better camera system and of course the more evolved experience with Hasselblad, I still feel like the 10 Pro does this job. So this is where I feel like they're not really clashing, they're really kind of coexisting. We never got a 10 in this series, so this is what we're getting for the, I would say, the entry level of what OnePlus offers us for 2022. Although this has some really cool tricks that the 10 Pro can learn from, namely the charger, the 80-watt car charger that we get in there, and of course there's a whole bunch of other things going on with OnePlus reducing the price even of the 10 Pro for people that are looking to get a more premium experience from OnePlus in 2022. So thank you very much for the support. Like and subscribe as usual. I'll see you in the next video.